In 17 years on the Supreme Court, Justice Stephen Breyer has heard his share of controversial cases. He said that when the High Court decides an issue and we accept it, that says a lot about America.
He discusses that and much more in his book, Making Our Democracy Work, A Judge's View. It is now available in paperback. Nice to have you with us this morning, sir. Pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
You do bring up this interesting point about even when there is so much discussion, heated many times over certain decisions, people follow what is put out there. They don't riot. They didn't.
Yes.
Why
There's no army backing it up.
Why do you think that is?
No, it's a question of history. I mean, it's a very good question. Why should Americans in a democracy do what 9 unelected judges? I mean, it's worse than that. These 9 elected people can do things that affect their lives, and they can be very unpopular. They're supposed to be unpopular some of the time because the Constitution gives rights to people who are unpopular the same as people who are popular. And they might be wrong.
But we do follow.
Yes,
those rulings. Why do you think that is? That it's beyond history. Is it just?
It's more than that. People gradually, over time, go back 150 years, and you'll see people didn't follow it when the Supreme Court said northern Georgia belongs to the Cherokee Indians. The President of the United States sent troops to evict the Indians. When some of us can remember, you can't. I can remember. I can remember.
What do you say?
I remember. Yeah, I can remember when desegregation began to take place. And in Little Rock, the governor stood in the schoolhouse door. It took President Eisenhower to put 1,000 paratroopers, the 101st Airborne, on airplanes and send them to Little Rock, where they escorted those black children into the white school. And gradually, over time, people have learned that even though we on the Supreme Court are human and therefore may be wrong, even though it's still better to follow a rule of law than it is to shoot each other in the streets.
And is that why you have a habit of asking your audiences which cases in history they dislike the most?
No, I do ask them that.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the response is?
Well, I don't mind what the response is. I give them a choice. Are you very much against abortion cases? Or what do you think of prayer in schools? Or what do you think about Bush versus Gore? You know, I get responses from the audience there. I say, I know. I was in dissent in that case. But I heard Senator Reid say, and I suspect he didn't like the opinion. I mean, he was a Democratic leader, right? Here's an important case. Very unpopular with half the country. And probably, in my opinion, you see, wrong, but 5 thought it was right. I say he said the most remarkable thing about that case is something not often remarked. Despite that, people did not go into the streets and shoot each other. They did not riot. They did not. Now, I'm talking to a college audience, and sometimes I say, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, too bad. They should have rioted a little bit. And then I say, before you make that judgment definitely, turn on the television set and watch what happens in countries that substitute violence for law.
We can disagree, but we respect.
Yes.
Which is so important. There's so much talk these days about liberal justice, conservative justices, that everything seems to have become so political in this country. But how political really is it when you all sit down and you're doing your job, or when you're in the lunchroom together and you're doing these? I mean, is it really a political gathering?
No, I want to explain that here. You see, I want to say that's not the right word. 40% of the time we're unanimous. The 5-4s are about 20-25%. Not always.
But they're often the significant cases.
Good point.
Clearly.
Yes,
I mean,
it is. It is. So I say, well, what is it? Is it politics? No, I don't think it's politics. Not politics. Well, is it ideology? I said, that isn't quite right. If I think I'm doing this because I'm an Adam Smith free enterpriser or a Maoist troublemaker or something, that isn't right. Well, what is it? I grew up in San Francisco. You said you lived there. I've lived for a while. You begin to develop sort of basic beliefs. What's the country like? What's law like? How do they relate? And people can come at that question with very very different basic views. And that differences of philosophy is what you sometimes see accounting for a decision. That's not politics.